Greetings and salutations, YouTubers. This is ZillaFan85, back today with my latest video, coming at you with another figure review. Today, we're going to go ahead and take a look at my Toho Machine Chronicles Super X figure. So this one I was definitely looking forward to doing a review on. I'm a huge fan of the Super X, of all three versions of them, really. Probably, I would say the original is my favorite. The Super X2, though, is pretty close. And of course, they're two of my favorite of the specialized vehicles from Toho anyway. Probably right behind the Moonlight SY3, I would say. So like I said, I was definitely looking forward to doing this. Now, the original Super X was featured in the the 1984 film, the Return of Godzilla, or Godzilla 1985, depending on what version you're watching. But like I said, definitely one of my favorite of the aircraft that Toho came up with, and so I was really happy that I got a hold of this figure. So I did previously review my Toho Machine Chronicles Moonlight SY3. And, I believe I stated in that video that I have a bunch of these, so I definitely wanted to rock and roll with reviewing them. So let's go ahead and jump right into it here. We're going to start actually with the box. This is the part of the Wave 1 issue, and they came in these boxes with the black covering, and then, of course, the picture of the Showa Gotengo right there. Of course, you got your all your Japanese lettering there as well, as you guys can see, with all the copyright information. There's the Bandai, because that Bandai was the one that made these figures. There's the top there with a Showa Mazer tank there. Very cool. Side with some more Japanese lettering there. And I think it actually goes over the different figures that are part of the collection, judging by the years that are on there. Very cool. And here's another side profile that's a little sort of a silhouette of the Gotengo. Again, the Showa Gotengo. That's very cool. Here's bottom with some legal jargon on there. And the back of the box that shows the various figures in the set. Like I said, I already previously reviewed the Moonlight SY3. And now we're taking a look at the Super X. So the Super X2 was released. It was part of the Wave 2, which again, I'll get to that. I do have that one. We'll get to that eventually. But really wanted to review the Super X though. So I actually bought the full sets of both waves. I decided to sell a few of them though, just a few that I didn't really have a great need for in my collection. I kept the majority of them though. So, and like I said, I really do love them. So anyway though, let's go ahead now, and we're actually going to pull the Super X off of there, because we're actually going to look at the display base that it comes with. So you guys can see just a plain Jane black display base with the support arm there, black peg there. And it actually pops out, see, so it does come in two pieces. You got the slot right there that it pegs into. I think both ends are essentially the same on either side, but either way, I'm just kind of keeping it like this. And you just slot it into place on the bottom. Here you got the copyright information for Toho, copyright 1984, and then 2003, which I think is when these actually were released. So these are older, but still really cool nonetheless. And that's pretty much it for the display base. So I'll set that aside. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Super X itself. So starting with the paint and the detail on this ship here. So you see all the different panelings done. You got the main color scheme, which is this sort of dulled out silver color, like this, not really metallic because it's like a dull silver on there, but still really cool nonetheless. Definitely does capture that look of the original Super X very well. You even got that little white star there, as you guys can see. There's the front of the nose of the ship there with the light that's inside there. Of course, you got all the paneling on the top here. Again, more of the paneling on the sides there. Very, very indicative of the Super X design. It's pretty much captured spot on. Got the back here with the boosters. There you can see all the lines and grooves done for the detail work on those. I'm trying the best I can to get that to pick up. Of course, a lot of detail on the bottom here. You got the 3 rotors there. They don't actually spin. They look like they spin. They don't, though, but they're still really cool nonetheless. Again, captured very well. Now you got the 3 Gatling guns, which are slotted into place there. Very cool. Again, all the paneling on the bottom and whatnot. And so again, just captured very, very well. And all that nice little detail work there. Ship there, all the mechanisms, again, all the panels. Very, very captured very, very well, like I said. So, you know, not really too much to go over as far as paint and detail goes. Now, there are some added features, so I guess we can call it articulation, if you will, because a multitude of the pieces on this ship actually do move to reveal, like, the ship in a more battle-ready pose. So I'll do the best I can here. So we start off with that top panel, as you guys see, it just pulls right out. And this, on mine, I think a lot of them, it's a little bit loose, so it kind of comes out fairly easily, but you can pretty much get it to stay up like that. And that reveals the cadmium missiles that the Super X fired. Right at the top there, which when they used that on Godzilla, it pretty much had him down for the count until he got revitalized by that fallout from the nuclear blast. You know, when the Russians accidentally fired the nuclear missile, and then the Americans ended up intercepting and blowing it up in the sky. But yeah, that revitalized Godzilla. But like I said, though, they did manage to take him down before that happened with the cadmium missiles here. So you can see that cool little missile bay. And then also the side panels here actually pop out. And I am going to show this. So you see how it slots out there. And you just flip it like that, and you actually slot it down into this groove there. If I can get it to work here, yep, like that. And do the same on the other side. Doing the best I can, folks. Apologies, that one went in a little bit easier. Next part, this piece here pops out, as you guys can see. Again, you got to use your fingers. You got to do the best you can with all these, and you can open that up, and then that reveals the little light there, the headlight that the Super X used here. Very, very cool. And then the last 3 bits here, the 3 Gatling guns, which I did mention before, these all, you pop them out with your fingers, and you can, let's see if I can try and do that. One of these has a tendency, there's like pegs on the undersides of these that they're, that they peg into and hold them into place. Now, they do kind of want to pop off of the pegs, but I'm doing the best I can. I was going to do this off camera, but I kind of wanted to show you guys there. So you see how you pop them out of place. Just use your fingers, and then this one there as well. And now you have the Super X in the battle pose, and I'm going to go ahead and put it on the stand like so. Very, very cool. And I'll just bring it in a little bit closer. You guys can see. So again, see that one's a little loose on that peg there. So, but you should still be able to slide it back into place So you guys can see that. Again, doing the best I can to show you guys here with my camera and whatnot. But you guys can see when the Super X is in the battle pose. They are very, very awesome. That's really, really a cool little added feature that they did. And that's part of the reason why I really love these Toho Machine Chronicle vehicles that that Bandai came out with. I was so happy when I got a hold of these. So again, another little look-see around. So again, you got the cadmium missiles here on the top. Now you got these, I believe these are standard missiles that were fired out there from those panels. You got the headlight here, and then you got the Gatling guns on the bottom. Very, very awesome, folks. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put this back in the standard pose. So let me go ahead and take a quick little breakaway. Okay, so after that little cutaway there, just to put everything back together, as you guys see, so it's in the standard neutral pose, which when I'm able to actually have it on display, that's normally how I pose it, but it is cool to be able to have the battle pose nonetheless. So next up, we're just going to look at some sizing here. So I got the ruler to start. And let's see here if I could show you guys. I can measure it from the nose to the end of the boosters there. And let's see how well this picks it up. So you guys can see it's roughly about 2 inches long. And measure from the bottom of to the top. There, just a little under an inch tall, around an inch tall. But I mean, you know, it's to be expected because it is it's a vehicle, not a kaiju. So, nonetheless, though, for scaling wise, though, I do think it actually sizes in fairly well with your 6 to 7 inch figures. Given that size range, and of course to do the size comparison with none other than my NECA 1984 Godzilla. So you guys can see right there, you know, a little bit closer angle it just so you guys can take a little look and see how they look together, which I think actually looks pretty well, honestly. So I mean, because the Super X, you know, was, you know, of course, it was a decent sized ship, but obviously not gonna, you know, be the size of Godzilla. So sizing wise goes, I think this is fairly accurate, I would say. Some people would say you might be better to size it against an X Plus figure, like a 25 to 30 centimeter figure. But honestly, I think a 6 to 7 inch figure looks really, really good, in my opinion. So, like I said, so here's the NECA 1984 Godzilla sized in with the Super X. And I think they look really, really cool. So, other than that, that pretty much covers it for that. And for pricing, well, you know, again, these are older figures and they're not the easiest to come by. So I do have to kind of denote that. So unfortunately, if you are interested, you are going to kind of have to pay to play from what I've seen. And it depends on the vehicle. But like the Super X here, I've seen, just for this figure alone, I've seen it go for around $60 to $70, to be honest with you. I don't know that it's necessarily worth that, especially for a small vehicle like that. But as far as just a really cool, unique collector item, though, I mean, I do recommend it for that sake. And if you're willing to pay to play, then to me, the Toho Machine Chronicles Super X is absolutely fantastic. I do recommend it for that fact alone. So other than that, though, folks, I think that does pretty much cover it for this video. I would certainly like to thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like to subscribe, please feel free to do so. If you would like to like and or comment on any of my videos, please feel free to do so as well. And just remember, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, you be good to yourselves, and sayonara.